Hey you guys, how's it going? I thought, I have a whole bunch going on today. It's my son's birthday, and I'm gonna make dinner and stuff like that for him. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's like his favorite. So, um, but I'm at this point. I'm working on these file folder journals, and I'm kind of struggling with it because sort of they're kind of morphing into this style that I'm not really comfortable with, but I'm really attracted to. So I thought, and I just, I have all of this fabric and stuff that I just love, and I really want to use it in some journals. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go for it, and kind of sort of leaning towards this bohemian kind of style with them. So I'm kind of learning how to work with that feeling, really different for me. And I don't, I've looked at tons of videos of, bohemian style junk journals and bohemian this, bohemian that, and I guess, I just really love it, and I admire so many of the people that make beautiful books in that spirit. So, I'm just gonna go for it, and I guess you guys can sort of come along for the ride if you're game, and we'll kind of, and I'm totally into input, advice, suggestions, that kind of stuff. If you guys have, any like really good ideas for any of the things that I'm working with, I'm into hearing those, and your comments and things like that. I love that. So, I basically, in the last video, I showed how I had sewn the covers, or like fabric, basically a different type of fabric onto each one of these journals, and I wound up with 13 of them all together. So I'm working on those, and I've gotten all of them basically stitched, sewn into the spine, into the cover. So each one is now sewn in, and I guess one of my biggest mistakes was in doing that, and I could always take it out, I guess, but one of my biggest mistakes was doing that before I attached like the fabrics and stuff to the edges of the pages like I want to do. But you know what? That's okay. Like these are glued on, which I think is fine. I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, it's a junk journal, right? I'm okay with actually turning it this way and running that through my machine to attach the trims and things like that. So, and that's cool. And I can use the little, stapler and stuff like that to attach them. Mostly I just try to make sure that they're sturdy and that that stuff is not going to just come off. And I don't like to see a whole bunch of, glue and stuff like that. So, anyway, so this is the one I started working on yesterday. And like I said, I'm really struggling with the materials, and so I just kind of pull out stuff and start playing with it and searching for inspiration, and it's coming really slowly, but I'm kind of determined to get through that and try to make this work, because I do have like a vision of what I want to wind up with, and I'm bound and determined I'm going to get there, and I feel like I'm going to do it, but I might need some help. So, like I said, suggestions are always welcome, constructive suggestions. I'm not real hip on criticism or negativity. I prefer, if you want to say something critical, that's fine, but I would really like to hear something positive at the same time. So kind of like a compliment sandwich, so to speak. Not that I'm fishing for compliments, but you know, it's nice to hear something nice and then some criticism and then something nice again. Like to sandwich the criticism sort of makes it easier to swallow. And you know, we're all just kind of on this journey of creativity and trying to make the most of what we have. And this is therapy. It really is. It's just a way of not just dealing with the stuff, but it's just an expression and an outlet. And it's something that I've found that really works for me in doing that. You know, I paint and draw a little bit and play with a lot of mixed media things. I like to sew, crochet, I like to cook, I like to do a lot of creative things, but this is something I found that it's like a niche that I've fallen into, and I just really, really love it, and I get a lot of validation for it. So thank you for that. Anyway, so I'll just kind of flip through this journal and let you guys see where I've come with this first one. And so basically my idea is that I'm going to start going through all of this stuff, all this fabric and scraps and trims and stuff, and try to, you know, I work on multiples at one time, so that's just how I work. And so I started on this one last night, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to try to go orangey on this one, really orange, because I love orange. Excuse me. So anyway, here's how far I've gotten. Just basically, you know, attaching stuff on the pockets. This is, you know, a piece of like a strap off of a purse or something. And I just pulled it around the front and tacked it down. And these are all either stapled in or glued. And I use my hot glue gun. I'm pretty careful about how I use it so that you don't see glue coming through. Anyway, so these are just basically a bunch of scraps and pieces off of some scarves and things like that. Some of that velvet. This is one of those bags, and I'm going to cut that open, and this will be like a pocket. And I just stapled some little pieces on here and there. I have a ton of rickrack that I need to use. And again, like my goal, I know I just spent a whole bunch of money at thrift stores and things like that. But yeah, that's okay. Anyway, I'm trying not to spend too much more money. So anyway, my kids just came in the room. So just gonna flip through the rest of it and just kind of show you where I've gotten to so far on this journal. I love this velvet. So this is sort of like stage 3, I guess. And this paper was torn, so I just took this piece and sort of wrapped it around both sides. And this is actually a pocket page. And I added some doilies in on some of the pages before I stitched them together. The last video that I made, I couldn't find my doilies, all my coffee stain paper doilies, but I found them, so I stuck them in here and there. And, you know, this is very random. All of these journals are just very, very random. That's just how I work. I just work well that way with randomity. I love this scarf it's just got these beautiful orange roses all over it. So a lot of pages are left untreated so far. Paper bag. Hey, feel free to get some firewood, you guys.
Okay.
my son and his girlfriend. I'm trying to get some work out of them. I don't know what that is. So yeah, so that's as far as I've gotten on that one. I did attach a couple, you know, there's a piece of that that coloring book that I've cut up and I'm determined to use up right here, and then an old postcard I got. I got this lot of postcards off of eBay, and I just got them in the mail a couple days ago, and they're all basically like France and Germany, old places. Some of them are Christmassy, but most of them are not. Anyway, so that was kind of inspiring to get those. So it wasn't, it was an auction, I think, that hadn't sold. So I think there's about 50 or 60 of them. I picked these up for like $10. So anyway, those are kind of exciting, and I love the black and white. So yeah, so these were kind of inspiring, and I will be trying to use those here and there. I tacked this down at the top so that this would just be a pocket rather than being open, like the other side of it is. See, oh, I tacked that one down too. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so there's that one. So, you know, I thought I would just kind of go through some of these trims and scraps of fabric and cut off, like, do like some strips that I can just kind of pile up and then start using in on the pages of these journals. So I'm just, you know, and no scrap will go to waste. I'll wind up putting any little tiny scraps into my, you know, tub of stuff that I use for my little clusters, you know. And yeah, so this is really, really pretty. I'm pretty sure this came off of a piece of clothing that my mom gave me. She has beautiful clothes. Anyway, so I don't know if she ever watches these videos, but she probably doesn't know that I just wind up cutting up all of her old clothes because they don't fit me. Anyway, and these scissors are amazing. Like, I love these Tim Holtz scissors. They're just great for everything. So, and I'll cut some, you know, shorter ones and kind of varied widths too. So, I have this purse that I got at a thrift store a long time ago, and it sort of fell apart. The zipper broke on it, actually, is what happened. So I thought, I'm going to use some of this purse. I sort of disassembled it already. And yeah, so I'll leave that one like that. And I don't know, I love watching videos of people just working and stuff. It might be kind of fun to do a live stream sometime, you know. I don't know if anybody would be interested in doing that and kind of hanging out. I've not ever done that, so if anybody thinks that that would be fun, even just a couple people, you know, it would be super fun to just hang out and chat and kind of work together and that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool just by itself. I sort of like that. That'd be fun on a cover of a journal. So I'm going to leave that intact. And then this is the other half of it. That's got some kind of, yeah, I'm not sure where this came from, this purse originally. I think it's like from Thailand or something, but it's got this cool like writing on this thing right there. I kind of like that. And I'm going to trim that off and use that somehow, just the way it is, right along the seam. So this is also going to get, yeah, I like these. These will be cool for like belly bands or something. These strips. Don't you just love cutting stuff up? I just love it. It's so fun. And who knows, maybe this adventure with these journals will... I never look at the clothes at thrift stores. I don't know why. I guess I just don't ever really find anything that I want to wear. So, I mean, every once in a while I do, but... So this is some green velvet, some really dark green velvet. So I'm just going to cut some strips of that. And I'm not really paying attention to exactly, how straight this is. I mean, I want it to be a little bit scrappy. So, and again, just varying the width of these strips. Do one more skinny one. And this will just go back in the box of fabric. So, some dark red. Isn't this fun, you guys? I like that big strip. So, and then here's some of that, wait. There's that blouse. That was my mom's. I guess maybe it was like a jacket or something. But I just love this. It's so delicious. Anyway, so I'll probably cut up a whole bunch more of that, but this is from like a kimono that, like a robe that I also got from my mom, and so this is part of the front part of the jacket, and I'm gonna leave that intact, kind of intact, I should say, and that one as well, because I think that would be a cool like belly band type of thing. So these little pieces are going to go in the scrap bag. Some more of that. And this is silk. This is that scarf that I used part of it on the front of a journal, one of those journals. Cut this one more length. And then, so I have a whole pile of stuff over here that I kind of want to go through, but I've got this just bag full of, like fabric scraps and lace scraps and stuff like that. So those, and this kind of thing inspires me, to get busy. And then I have this is actually sari fiber. So this is all silk, and I bought this because I do felting, like wool felting, and this stuff makes a really nice addition to felted things. So, but sometimes I'll use and these are like super tangled up. They take the old saris, and they basically just strip the threads out of them when they're, old and unusable, like unwearable anymore. And I think that, like women will actually sell them for this purpose, but to use the fibers. So yeah, it's kind of messy to work with, but once you find a piece, like you can work with this like as a, just as like a piece of twine or something. It's super strong. So I'll go through that, and I just love the colors. I mean, look at the colors of this stuff. It's just beautiful. So, and I'm going to use some of this like to embellish some more tags and things like that. So I just want to show you guys that because it's kind of fun. Yeah, so this kind of pile of stuff. And then I've got all of these. I picked these up from Michael's after Christmas last year. And these are just like those little packs of trims. I think these were like 25 cents or something. Super cheap. So I got a whole bunch of those that I want to try to use at least some of that, in these journals. I'm not sure like about the colors, how I feel about, like this teal green or whatever, but who knows, I can make it work. So that, and then, okay. And then I have all of these, these Japanese silk fabrics that I got from my mom. These strips, or these, pieces. They're actually pretty large pieces that I got from her. But I'm going to cut some strips off of this too, to use along the edges of some of the pages. So yeah, I don't go small scale like ever on anything, it seems like. So I put my heart into it. All of my heart. And it usually pays off. So unless we're talking about love, and then that's a whole other conversation. But as far as my crafts and things like that, yeah, I go whole hog. I'll bet that sounds weird on the video. This is so yummy. I just love this. So yummy. I'm going to trim off the selvage on here to use just on a page by itself. So this is just, kind of using up junk, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole idea of junk journals. It's using up junk. And, what else am I going to do with these scraps of fabric, My mom makes these really pretty quilts and stuff, and she's really into doing, well, she used to be. I don't think she's so much into it anymore, but she used to do a lot of like applique and things like that and so that's why she has a lot of these fabrics. She's made some beautiful quilts. And she also does this this thing, it's called iris paper folding. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that, but it's really neat. It just takes a lot of patience, and she does it with paper, but she's done it some iris paper folded like fabric things, which are neat. Just like the style of iris paper folding, but she's done it with fabric. So my mom is quite industrious also. kind of grew up a lot of my childhood living in the country in Oregon, and I learned a lot of my um, craftiness, I guess, from my mom. And she always had a garden, and she put up a lot of food for us, and she made clothes, and she embroidered, and she cooked. She was an amazing cook. She still is, but like she baked our bread, and we always had we had a wood stove and stuff like that. So kind of learned how to entertain myself without the use of a television. And I don't watch TV. It's funny because I work for a very large cable company, and I do have TV. I'm just not into vegging out and sitting in front of a television. It just seems like, to me, it just seems like such a waste of time when I could be doing something else. I do like to watch a movie now and then. But, yeah, I'm not like a huge TV watcher. When my kids were little, when my oldest two, I have 5 sons, and when my 2 older boys were babies, I did watch a lot of TV. Like, I was into watching soap operas and, General Hospital and stuff like that. But, man, I never got anything done. And I just didn't have a lot of creativity at that time either, because it was just sort of being sucked out of me, I think, by the television. So I just decided at one point in my life that I think I was actually talking to my mom on the phone one time, and we were, we used to talk on the phone almost every day when she lived in California and I was living up here in Washington. And we'd talk on the phone like every day. And one time I realized that when we were talking about stuff that happened on television, like what was happening on like some soap opera. And I realized that I would much rather talk about things that happen in my real life, like my own life, rather than, some fictional character on TV. So that was kind of when I made the decision to stop watching TV. And that was about 15 years ago. So consequently, I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to like current events and things like that. I just, I figure if the world is coming to an end and something major is going down, somebody that loves me will let me know. That's the way I feel about it. So, yeah. So, you know what? If anything's going on and you guys think I need to know about it, let me know. I mean, like, if it's really going down. I'm just saying. Yeah. Politics and all that crap, it just does not interest me at all. My world is, and I like it this way, like my world is pretty small. I don't, can't be bothered with all the world's major problems, I mean, I do my part, like I recycle, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm talking about, but I do ramble. So this is pretty fabric. This came from, my mom took a trip to Malaysia at one point in her life, and she brought home some of this fabric. And it's also silk. So yeah, some of these would be really pretty to cut out and use on some journal pages. So I'm going to leave a bunch of this not destroyed. Yeah, so there's, this one is more like pinks and stuff, and this one is more like browns and greens. This is the piece that she got from me. It's a little bit, no, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just some silk. All right, so let's see. Some tie-dyed fabric. I'm going to cut a chunk off of this. Add that to the pile. I wonder how this would tear. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like it torn. Just cutting some random little slits there to tear this. Yeah, I like it torn. It's cool. I didn't want to try doing that with the silk. I just know it wouldn't work. So, I mean, seriously, right? Like, I love all this stuff. It's so pretty. I don't even know what this was. Probably a scarf or something. Who knows? Isn't that pretty? Tie-dyed silk. I just have too much crap, you guys. Way too much. And it's just sitting in these tubs, you know, and I gotta use it. I feel guilty, like I need to use it. And I don't know. I mean, I just don't have, I know it seems like I have a ton of time on my hands, but I get, I want to get involved maybe in doing some swaps and things like that. But it's really hard for me to make those kind of commitments for some reason. Like, I don't know. It's kind of overwhelming to me. Like, I've done it. I've done it with some friends, but, you know, I don't know. If anybody would be interested in doing some kind of a swap with like lace and doilies and things like that, I might be interested in doing that. Or, you know, like ephemera, or I don't know. I know that like everybody's into doing like Happy Mail and stuff like that. And I mean, who doesn't love to get that kind of stuff? Come on. But, you know, I don't want to overextend myself, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel guilty, like if I don't follow through as quickly as I should. I I have a hard enough time just trying to get like my Etsy orders out in a timely fashion. I have a really kind of difficult work schedule where I work a really long day, and so yeah, anyway, and I work like every other day right now. Like I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So anyway, all right, so here's this big pile of fabric and stuff, and I'm going to kind of set these aside. I don't know if I'm going to use those right away, but I have this gigantic pile of strips of fabric that I'm going to try to use. And then also, so let me just put the stuff in this tub real quick. Then whoops, there's more. See, here's that scarf. I just love it. It's so pretty. And this one, I like this one too. These are both silk. And then there's the rickrack. So, all this rickrack that I would like to try to use a bunch of. And then there's this mess of lace trim and seam binding, lace seam binding. And this is basically just all, except for there's some like tassel trim and some pom-pom trim. There's black, purple. In this bin, this is all just basically lace trim. So I want to try to use up a bunch of this stuff too. I mean, what else am I going to do with it, right? So I'm just going to pick out some, and some of this rickrack is new and some of it's not. Some of it's old. But I'm just going to kind of grab out some of it like that. And I'm serious. Like, I want to try to use this stuff up. This really super skinny rickrack, I'm not sure about. Anyway, I do like the really fat stuff. Oh, I have the purple. There's the purple. And this orange. There. And wait, that orange. Okay. And I'm not going to go through that lace trim at the moment. Try to remind me to use it though, would you guys? So let's see about putting some stuff in here on the pocket. Something a little bit wider. And I'm trying really hard to not worry about the colors, like if the colors go with each other, that kind of thing. I do want these to be totally random and not worry about that. I want them to be sort of junky. And of course, my hot glue gun is not plugged in, which is fine. I'll plug it in and then we'll work with glue for now. And this is Aleene's Tacky. I don't know why I put it in this. I think it's because the one that the other, like the big bottle, I think I got the thing open too far. So, but I'm going to use tacky glue on this. And I know they make a fabric glue too, but I don't care. Yeah, so yeah, that'll work. So it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, because, well, I'm most likely gonna attach something else on there, like, you know, some kind of paper embellishment or something like that, and that'll just kind of reinforce that. So I just really want to go random on this. And I'm going to use the tiny attacher. Yeah, I don't have a problem using this for, I mean, that's what it's for. And some of these I'll leave, you know, longer. Maybe cut it off at a little angle or something like that. But, yeah, I want these to feel good, you know, like as you're turning the pages, I want them to feel good and just be active and kind of exciting, you know. So what I might do also is just kind of tack these on just lightly, and then I'll go back and stitch these on with the machine. Yeah, so I think that's what I might do. So that is what I probably will wind up doing. I will go back with my sewing machine. I'm going to attach these like at the top and bottom, and then I can just run that through the sewing machine like that, like in a zigzag or something like that. And, you know, some of them I probably will wind up just gluing down also, but yeah, so that'll at least get them where I want them. And then I'll go back later and fix them. I know that doesn't seem very, like, I don't know, professional or anything like that, but hey, I'm not really. And like I said, I don't have a problem using hot glue either. So once that heats up, I'll probably just do that. I do love this little attacher though. I used a I think it was like a $10 off a $20 purchase or something coupon, plus like some 50% off regular price item coupons at Joann's. I love how you can stack coupons at Joann's. Like you can only use one that's like off the total purchase, but you can use like multiple, 50% off one item coupons in the same transaction. So, I mean, seriously, like I walked out of there with like $200 worth of stuff for like $40. So anyway, so my whole point is that I stocked up on the little tiny staples. So this is, well, I have like 6 more boxes of them, or little packages of them. So I got a whole bunch of those. So I don't feel bad like using them up. I like not having to worry about that. And then here and there, I do want to just use like some little no, I already used that. Can't use that again. Here's a little piece. So I just want to, maybe I'll do that like around both sides. What are you doing, Bastion?
I'm gonna go get some food.
Some food?
No, and you.
Oh. Andy. He's not my favorite person, but that's okay. I'm not sure if this is interesting to you guys at all, but I'm having fun. So if inspiration comes from, for me, it comes from the materials, this should work, It's just different. These, this whole, I mean, all of these colors and stuff like that is just way outside my box. I mean, not in my real life, but like in my junk journal existence, that's kind of outside my, realm. Usually I'm more into like the kind of like vintage sort of style and ephemera and sewing stuff and things like that. So this is fun though. So let's do some of this rickrack. Let's see if this thing is hot yet. Yeah. So I just do like a really thin bead of hot glue there, and then yeah. So that works pretty well. I mean, and it's not gonna just fall off, Let me go back and put a little bit of rickrack on this page. Let's use this silver. Yeah. Ouch. And then usually what I do is I go back with my hot glue gun, or not my hot glue gun, my heat gun, and I'll just kind of go over the whole book, and it sort of just eliminates any of the little glue strings and stuff like that, and it kind of melts the glue into the paper better. So I'll usually do that later on down the road. Yeah, see, I knew once this thing got heated up. See how I turned that over? Yeah. Yeah, so this feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy with Yeah, I'm going to use up some of this stuff, you guys, which is cool. Pretty cool. It's like a farm tractor. It's just funny to me to, use some of this weird stuff. Like, here's this, Japanese fabric on the instructions for, a tractor. How junky is that? That's junky. Glue strings. Let's see. So see, this could take me a month to get all 13 of those journals just embellished on the pages, on the edges of the pages, right? That could take me a long time. But I don't care. It's not about that for me. It's about the process and just enjoying the materials and playing. This is a pocket. Yeah. It's getting some silk on it. And if you don't press too hard, when you use the hot glue, if you don't press too hard on it, like, it doesn't come through or anything. And it holds really tight. So, yeah. I know, some people are like anti-hot glue. I'm all for it. Really. I'm all for it. Yep. Oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. This is going to be good, I think. These books. Yeah, they're going to be fun. And I'm going to get so much stuff used up. Too much red. I love red, but, it's a balance. It's like a fine balance. Even though I said I wasn't going to worry about the colors so much, right? Let's see. Rickrack. Green. I love lime green. I don't have any clothing that's lime green because, well, yeah, I wouldn't. It's not my color, but I do like it. I like all colors, though. My cold is still there, still hanging on. Somebody gave me a cold. I guess that's what I got for Christmas from that person. Let's use a little piece of this tie-dye fabric on here. little piece of rickrack would be cute on the front of that, or that. Yeah. And then later, like I can put some buttons or something on there, or like a little piece of like a paper tag or something, you know? And I think that's, for me anyway, this is kind of the idea of junk journals, like just you know, kind of throwing stuff together and making it happy, and you know, like what's wrong with a big chunk of velvet right there? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, like Bob Ross used to say, this is your world, and you know, you can put your happy little trees wherever you want. Yeah. So there's not really much rhyme or reason here, which is cool. I like that. I am trying to sort of space these out. Like, you know, I'm not trying to put a strip of fabric on every page. I hate this little tiny glue gun. I hate it. But it's like my backup. It's my backup hot glue. Because I ran out of the giant glue sticks for the big guy. And also, like, I found this whole box of little mini sticks at a thrift store for 99 cents. So, had to buy those. Let's see. Let's do some of this black. It's not really pom-pom trim, but I guess it's supposed to kind of look like pom-pom trim. I don't know. Stick. Let's see. Every once in a while, if I just fluff it up, like, oh, I love that black lace. Use the other side of this because I used, you know, the white side of it on that one page. Yeah. Okay, we're almost to the end of this book here. So I want to put something on here. Glue strings. So do I make it like match the front or go totally different? I think I'm going totally different. So yeah, I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to use hot glue. Yep. There. So that's, wow, look at, there's a lot going on in there. It's pretty colorful. It's pretty. So there. What do you guys think? I think it's cool. And I might, you know, attach some more pieces of stuff, you know, on the front of it, and some flowers or maybe some metal buttons, things like that. I want to show you guys these flowers that I made a while back and see if maybe you guys would be into maybe a tutorial on doing these. These are quilled paper flowers, roses. So I used to do a lot of paper quilling if any of you look at my Instagram, you'll see some of my quilled paper stuff way down in my earlier posts. And I'm Sammy's Jammies on Instagram. I guess I could put a link to my Instagram on the video. So anyway, Sammy's Jammies on Instagram. SammysJammies. That's me. But you'll see some of my paper quilling on there. But anyway, so these little paper flowers, and I have a bunch of them that I made just out of scraps of like art paper and stuff like that. So these are old. They're kind of dusty. But, like this is made out of wrapping paper. So, and these are pretty easy to make, honestly. Like, they're really not hard to make. And then the little leaves. Easy. Let me see. There. Yeah. So, I just have these. They're on, that florist wire. And I just kind of wrap them all together, and then I have them stuck in this little vase, so on my desk. Anyway, so I'm probably going to use some of those actually on some of these journals because I like they're all colorful and stuff. So we did one together, and I'm going to keep working on the rest of them and try to get them all done up with some fabric and trim and stuff like that on the edges. I'm going to pull out some more of that lace, like the lace trim on some of them, like on this one. I think, that makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I will be making fried chicken and stuff today, and I'm doing some coffee dyeing also. I actually have some paper in the oven drying. I just turned it way, way, way down to like 200. So hopefully that's done. I did some of those notepads that I picked up at the thrift store the other day. I coffee dyed some sheets off of each of those, and then some other ones that I had. But anyway, so that is about it for the moment. I've got to go cut some chicken up. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. And anything you want to share, I'm down. And like I said, I love to hear from you, and your comments and stuff are always welcome. And thumbs up, stuff like that. And subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, love you. Bye.